اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكن خيرا منهن ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب بئس الاسم الفسوق بعد الإيمان ومن لم يتب فأولئك هم الظالمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعد الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه واتقوا الله إن الله تواب رحيم. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب ولكن البر من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر والملائكة والكتاب والنبيين وآتى المال على حبه ذوي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل والسائلين وفي الرقاب وأقام الصلاة وآتى الزكاة والموفون بعهدهم إذا عاهدوا والصابرين في البأساء والضراء وحين البأس أولئك الذين صدقوا وأولئك هم المتقون.
Alhamdulillah, thanks be to God. Our second reciter has arrived from his flight and is ready to go. So while they sort of catch their breath and also think about the recitations ahead, what I want to do is take a brief moment to talk about the art of the recitation of the Qur'an. The proper term is called tajweed, usually in Arabic. And the learning of reciting the Qur'an is, in many Muslim cultures, one of the first things that people learn as a child. But at the same time, it's one of the most refined arts that if one becomes skilled at this recitation can gain worldwide fame. So there are many scholars of Qur'anic recitation that are known throughout the Muslim world, and people buy their CDs and their tapes and listen to them in their car all the time. Or in the Muslim world, you find that there's many radio stations which just play Qur'an over and over and over again all day long. And so people want to listen to Qur'an, they turn in. But the recitation of the Qur'an, to some people, sounds sort of strange at first. I know, for example, my mother, God bless her soul, she just has told me very bluntly that she just doesn't really like it that much. And that's an aesthetic sense. It is definitely often recited in a way that one might call more Eastern, in terms of the melodies, if you will, that one hears while someone's reciting. But at the same time, for the Muslim point of view, the Qur'an and the recitation of the Qur'an is seen as a universal thing. And so people from many, many different cultures recite it in roughly the same way. So whether Indonesia or Pakistan and India or the Middle East or even North America, as both of our reciters are from, at least currently. And I, for example, studied in a school in the outskirts of Chicago for a year, studying the recitation of the Qur'an in the traditional fashion that they do in South Asia, in India and Pakistan. And for me, being a white guy, to put it bluntly, it was an amazing experience to find myself doing something that for me was universal, yet in terms of the way I was trained, doing something that was seemingly foreign to me. It was learning from another tradition, but being connected in a universal tradition that I was now part of as a convert to Islam. And I just want to say that if anyone has any more extensive questions about the recitation of the Qur'an, you can ask our two reciters after the event, or myself, or you can blitz me if you so choose. But thank you so much for coming, and thank you for your patience. But in the previous recitation, we saw that the Qur'an talked of those who feed the hungry, expecting a reward from no one except God. So according to the Qur'an, righteous living takes on a higher fullness when our actions are dedicated to the worship of God, who is described in the Qur'an in numerous ways. For example, it says, quote, "There is none like unto him," unquote. And yet at the same time, the Qur'an offers more tantalizing descriptions of the divine, such as in the famous verse of light, which begins, quote, "God is the light of the heavens and the earth," unquote, and then elaborates further on that particular description. God is a topic of discussion throughout the Qur'an, such that in the middle of talking about the most mundane issues, the most worldly issues, it will all of a sudden switch to a quick reminder that God is the all-knowing and the all-wise. In the following recitation, you get a glimpse of some of the most important verses of the Qur'an which describe the reality of God, which from the Muslim perspective is nothing short of God describing himself.